You're watching our continuous coverage here from the World Economic Forum in Davos, and joining us now is the man who heads IKEA globally, Jesper Brodin. Always a pleasure. Thanks very much for joining us on CNBC TV 18. Let me start by talking to you about India. The first store opened in Hyderabad. The honeymoon period continues?
Well, yes, I think we are in a little bit of a honeymoon, to be honest, because we have dreamt about opening India for so many years. So it was just lovely to finally be able to bring IKEA to India. So as I shared with you, we don't call it Hyderabad, we call it Hyderabad.
Hyderabad.
Yes, since the opening.
Okay, but what's the experience been like since you opened, both in terms of sales, in terms of being able to get the IKEA brand going in India? What's that experience been like?
You can say the reception has been phenomenal. From a brand perspective, we are way above expectations. So the way we went from 2% top of mind awareness to way above 70 during the period since the opening has been a surprise. Nothing we've seen anywhere else in the world. Sales is good. We're learning, but we also spent a lot of time in our research before, together with thousands of visits in homes, to ask people what is relevant for them. We develop products so it's not only the generic IKEA offer, but it's really both the functions, but also the products that match the wallet size of people in Hyderabad. So I think we're quite happy with the development after the first 6 months.
Next stop now in India, and I know that you've been acquiring land across the country in order for you to be able to scale up. Give me a sense of what we can expect in 2019 and beyond.
Yeah. In the past we used to open a store and learn, reflect and then move on. But in India we decided to attempt by the amazing expectation of shift in demography and development in economy to take the risk to put the spade in the ground in many places. So we basically, in both Mumbai and in Bangalore, already started to work on our next stores. We're in Delhi looking at sites in different places and locations. So the ambition is to be rather fast in trying to bring IKEA to more cities.
Mm-hmm. So how soon can we expect these stores to open in Delhi, in Bombay and in the other areas that you're looking at?
Well, it depends on the monsoon, it depends on a lot of things, but I think Mumbai is about a year from now. Within a year, I would say, and Bangalore not far from that. And Delhi, it's a bit early to say because we haven't figured out all the details yet, but within a few years we would see IKEA in more cities.
Mm-hmm. What's the plan as far as sourcing is concerned? And I know that you have been sourcing from India even before IKEA set up shop, but now that you have set up shop in India, yes. What does that mean in terms of sourcing and the way that you change that?
Yeah, we have been a part of the Indian development for many years, and what is unique for us in India is that we basically, if you scrutinize us, we are active in all parts of the demography, both with the IKEA Foundation for the most needing. We are very active into women empowerment projects. We work with Disha, and all the way to social entrepreneurs, all the way to production in different categories. Predominantly, IKEA has been active in the textile segment based on the strengths in India. As we have already opened, we have now stepped into food from necessity, and we're looking into more categories of production as well. And you know, in one way we are quite confident in the plans we have. And at the same time, we need to build some certain volumes in order to justify some of the investments. But that's going to come in the years to come.
So you talked about food being a new category for sourcing from India. What could be the other potential categories that you would look at?
So different types of furniture, in particular the bulky furniture, is already in our plans and partly up and running. Sofas, mattresses, these type of products doesn't make sense to transport a long distance. So it's depending on categories, there will be some natural choices for us to get moving.
Digital push, and that's what we're seeing for IKEA globally. What is that going to mean in terms of you perhaps working with more Indian IT vendors, and what about digitalization within the Indian market as well?
Well, the development curve right now in India is fascinating. So we are humble, and we are very curious also to see how India can help us develop a business model. We're convinced that the adaptation to e-commerce and the combination of using online and the physical experience is something already today the Indian consumers are expecting. So as much as we are ambitious about building flagship stores, we're also very ambitious about building distribution networks and digital experiences.
But on e-commerce, because that's a part of your strategy globally as well, are the rules in India, which have now been reiterated or revised by the government, restrictive? Do you believe that they will hamper your e-commerce plans?
It is our belief, and through all the excellent contacts we have had with the states and on an Indian broader level, we feel that we are in good dialogue with people. It's a matter of how to progress and with the respect of the massiveness of moving India, so to say. So we have lent ourselves as a speaking partner, but we're also ambitious and a believer that India is on a path of modernization. So yes, we think the progress is definitely in the right direction.
So when can we expect e-commerce in India from IKEA?
So when it comes to e-commerce, we already started to offer different types of services. E-commerce is not only one component. It is about how you actually can access our offer digitally, but also how you can purchase and how you can get it home delivered. So these things will hopefully within, I would say, the coming 3 years period, we will see IKEA in India catch up with how it looks in other markets. It depends, of course, on a dialogue and the legislative work that needs to happen. But we're very optimistic that within 3 years we will see a full-fledged opportunity.
You know, given the land acquisition challenges in India, would you consider experimenting with smaller format stores in India, which is something that you're toying with globally as well?
Yeah, absolutely. And if you take Mumbai as an example, we're already contemplating how we can combine big footprint flagship store with reaching people in the peninsula, for example. And as we are testing and trying different concepts right now, having a lot of fun with that, India is definitely a place we want to try that. And to be honest, I think it's not about testing and trying and then bringing it to India, but we will also test together with customers and consumers in India what would be relevant in smaller touch points there.
What's the global outlook for 2019, given the fact that we're seeing these trade tensions escalate? What does it mean in terms of possible supply chain dislocations? Have you seen anything already? What's the story for 2019 for the rest of the world?
You can say there's a lot of volatility in the world, and there's a lot of reasons to be concerned. We have benefited, like many companies, and I think people at large, from trends in opening borders, free trade, which has ultimately, we have enough proof point to see that is to the benefit for the many people. So it's worrying times on one side. At the other side, you can say a company like IKEA or a community, including the supply chain, we are long term. We are builders. So we don't even have the capability to take swift decisions to shift our supply chain. It's a lot of jobs, it's a lot of investment. So we'll just have to see and be prepared for to be agile, but also to stay grounded in what we believe in is our vision and what our mission is to contribute to society.
So Jesper, back to India and a final question. In terms of the plans that you have, what will it mean for a ballpark figure in terms of investments?
Honestly, I don't have a number top of mind, but you can say that currently, the last period, China has been the place we have invested the most.
And how much would that be?
I don't have the number top of mind. Maybe I should. But it will be considerable. I would not be surprised in the period 5 to 10 years ahead that India will be among the top 3 investment regions for us in IKEA. And then let's see. We are not in India to. We feel that we are part of the Indian community. If you look at all the activities we do, I think there is enough proof point for that. Then we consider India as a gift for us to learn. Not a lot of people know, but India has taught us the recent years what the true meaning of quality, based on humidity, a lot of requirements in life at home. We actually had to improve the whole quality of IKEA. So. We place us as very humble, and we think that India is a place to develop, not only to implement.
Well, Jesper Brodin, thanks very much for joining us here on CNBC TV 18. We wish you the very best of luck with IKEA in India, and thanks for your time.